First point of the day is an article, and it's titled, Iowa Man Who Burned LGBTQ Flag Sentenced to 16 Years. Let that sink in. I read this last night and I've been sick lately. That's why my voice sounds like this, but I usually go to bed pretty late anyway. I'm a kind of a night owl. So last night, it's probably about 12:30, and I see this on my Facebook. Someone posted this article, Iowa man burned LGBTQ flag, and he was sentenced to 16 years. And they said, is this America? This happened in America? Now, I'm a researcher. A lot of my friends on Facebook are people that like to, research, like the news. But I have a problem with a lot of the news that I read because, and this could be a topic for another time, but so many people, even on my Facebook friends, God bless y'all, but you guys share faulty articles all the time. Articles that are from fake news websites that are totally faulty. And I'm not just saying like, it's not Snopes Register because that's a liberal thing. I'm just saying it's just straight up not true. And so I'm like, nope, there's no way. And my first thought, Iowa, this is America.
Right.
Iowa is a state. Okay? This is America. This isn't some random place in Europe like the liberals over there or even Canada with their hate crime or even their hate speech laws.
Which was my first thought. I had to read it again because I'm like, where is this?
Yes.
Iowa man. This is the United States.
So my first thought was, it's fake. But then it said Washington Examiner. Now, the one that we're talking about right here is Washington Times. But it said Washington Examiner. Still I'm not convinced because I click on it and it actually says that within the article. But then I thought to myself, this is clearly a fake Washington Examiner website because there's fake USA Today websites. There's fake mainstream media outlets other people have created fake websites for them.
Yep.
And people get duped into sharing the fake news. And so I saw that. I said, well, it must be fake. So then I type it in Google search. It's not fake. Every major media outlet was talking about it. But yet, this is so interesting. Everyone was talking about I'm not going to go through the list, but all the major ones. But it wasn't on the news. It wasn't on Drudge Report. It wasn't on, and I'm not going to say the name because they're my friends, but there weren't on some certain major Christian end times pages. No one was talking about it. And this is major news. Let me get into it. This happened. This was real. Iowa man who burned LGBTQ flag sentenced to 16 years. Now, I want to say that he did break the law.
Yes.
I want to make that clear right off the bat. But 16 years. An Iowa man who was found guilty of lighting, here's another part of the story, a local church's, it was a church's LGBTQ flag.
That was shocking to learn.
Yeah. He lit it on, it's just the headline itself, but it was a church's flag. He was sentenced to more than 16 years in prison this past Wednesday. Mr. Martinez, age 30, was found guilty last month of a hate crime, third-degree harassment, and reckless use of fire after admitting to police in June that he stole a pride banner hanging outside the United Church of Christ, his church, and set it on fire using lighter fluid about 2 blocks away. Story County Attorney Jessica Reynolds said in June that the hate crime charges were added because Mr. Martinez targeted the church's property because of what it represented as far as sexual orientation. Mr. Martinez was sentenced to 15 years for the hate crime charge, 1 year for reckless use of fire, and 30 days for harassment, all of which will be served consecutively. So it's like, hate crime, stolen property abuse, arson. And so, you shouldn't steal anybody's flag.
Yeah.
You shouldn't, okay?
The issue is not that nothing should have happened.
Exactly. But the man, just to put it in layman's terms, he was incredibly mad that the church of God, and that's debatable whether that is a church from the Lord or not, that the church would raise an LGBTQ flag on their property, and he became irate. So what did he do? He climbed that pole somehow. I don't know how he did it. He cut the flag down, and he went a few blocks away into a parking lot, and he lit it on fire. Okay. Don't steal flags. You know, there should be some type of you know, what am I looking for? Punishment, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, but 16 years.
It's disproportionate.
Last year, Antifa lit a member of the Secret Service on fire. Not a flag, a human being. A Secret Service member. They lit a human being on fire and they didn't get any jail time. Antifa have damaged so many businesses. They've lit cop cars on fire. They literally charred a limousine at Trump's inauguration. No jail time. Oftentimes, murderers and rapists get less time than 16 years. The man's 30. His life's done. You know, this has changed his entire life. He's not going to get out until he's 46 years old.
And then after that, I mean, his work and everything is just going to completely damage his reputation.
Exactly. And you know, and here's another thing. What about people desecrating nativity scenes over the years? What about people stealing baby Jesus?
Yeah.
Right? Let me tell you right now that if someone took a flag at a church with a cross on it and burned it, do you know what would happen? Do you?
I would guess nothing.
Probably nothing. Probably nothing. This is monumental news. This is like, it's a very slow thing that has happened over the years. It's here, people. It's here, people. And no one gets it. Americans, they're like the frog in the kettle. They say that if you put a frog into a pot of boiling water, it'll leap out right away to escape the danger. But if you put a frog in a kettle that is filled with water that is cool and pleasant, and then you gradually heat the kettle until it starts boiling, the frog will not become aware of the threat until it's too late, until it's dead. And I'm reminded, and I'm not going to get into it, I'm reminded of World War II in Germany. They started coming for this group of people. They started coming from this group of people. Listen, it's a slow thing. And I want to tell you right now, though, it's here. It's here. It's at your doorstep. It just opened up the door and it just walked in. A man was sentenced to 16 years in prison because he burnt an LGBTQ flag.